Today I want to talk to you about money. To win with money, you must understand what money is, understand the value of money. And even though if we read Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 19, which I am quickly going to read for you, it says that a feast is made for laughter and a wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. Money answereth all things. And this is where sometimes people get it wrong. Because it says, the Bible says that money answereth all things. People make money their God. People make money the most important thing in their life. But I want you to understand that money is a resource. Money is a resource that you need to understand how to leverage money. You need to understand how to store money. You need to understand how to make money for you to be able to win. Those who are winners and those who are prosperous and those who are financially sound and those who have made great profit is because they understand that money is a resource. They're not necessarily making money their God. They understand that money is a resource, that they should understand how they can make the money, how to use the money and use or leverage the money, and how to store the money. But some of us are good in understanding how to make money. They will go and work and work and work and work for their money. They work all day. And some older generation know how to, they've got great work ethics and they know how to go and make the money. But some people don't know how to store the money. So they work all day, make the money, but they don't know how to store the money. And when I talk about storing the money, people have asked me, what do you mean about storing the money? Where are you banking your money? How is the money that you have made, how is it working for you? Because I believe in, and I'll tell you some of the principles that I have used in my business. And so when I started my business, my business originally started on £25,000 that was given to me by a business partner. That £25,000 was all that I had all those years ago. But I understood how to leverage the money. I understood how to make the money. I understood how to store the money. And so what was happening was when I was making the money, I was not living frivolously, but I was living frugally. I understood that with that 25,000, I invest my 25,000, there's got to be a return on that 25,000. And when I got the return on the 25,000, that was not it. I was not saying that because I put 25,000 in and now I've got 35,000, let's go and spend the 10,000. No. I was putting the 10,000 profit with the initial capital of 25,000 to work. And I kept doing that for so many years. For about 10 years into the business, I was taking out nothing for myself. I was just an employee of my business, taking out a salary that was enough to cover my expenses and keeping it all in and leveraging that same amount of money and the profit over and over and over and over again. That is knowing how to make your money work for you. And so I consistently made my money work. One principle that I always have in mind is before I buy something that is not going to make profit for me, I should be able to buy it 100 times before I buy one of it. That is my simple principle. So if I'm going to buy myself a Gucci bag, I need to make sure that my profits, I have enough profits to buy more than 100 of those Gucci bags before I buy one of those Gucci bags. And for me, that is how I leverage my money. So before I buy something that's not going to yield me profit, I should have enough profit that I can buy 100 of that thing. And so buying one is not really going to make a dent in my profit. And for me, that is my simple concept that I use when it comes to making my money work for me. And so every profit that I make, I replow it into something else to be able to yield more profit. And so that's what I talk about, understanding the value of money, know how to make it. I didn't just want to make the money, but I wanted the money that I made and the profit that came out of making that money. I needed to understand how to store it. And again, when I come to talking about storing your money, where else are you investing your money? What are you putting your money in? Because if I put my money just in a bag and put it under my bed, if I put 100,000 under my bed, it's still 100,000. But then if I put 100,000 in, say, buying another startup business and working that startup business, majority of the time it's going to yield me profit. Or if I take that same £10,000 and potentially put it in a high yield interest account, there's a high probability the bank is maybe going to give me 2, 3, 4, or 5%. So my 100,000 at the end of the year or at the end of whatever time, it's not the same as that money that was under my bed because it's yielded profit. Again, I take my money, the same amount of money, and invest it in, say, in properties. So I buy a house that is run down, and then I do up that house, and then I put it back on the market. Boom, you're probably making about 10-15% from flipping that property. So you see what I say about storing, knowing how to store your money and knowing how to leverage your money and making sure that your money is working for you. And so money answereth all things, and this is how money answereth things. I'm not making money my God. Don't make money your God. Don't worship money. It is a resource that I need to understand how to make it, how to store it, and how to leverage it. And so money keeps making money for you. You want to study the rich? Those are some of the concepts that you, the same amount of money, the same amount of time that you have, they are just making their money. Whereas I've seen so many business people spending their profit even before they make the profit. They calculate that if I do this, I'm going to get 100,000 at the end of the term. And so they start even spending their money before even the 100,000 comes in, and they're back to exactly the same place. I see people who say to me, I don't have enough money. I want to start a business, but I don't have enough money. Oops, but you're holding a Gucci bag. You're holding a Chanel bag, you're holding the latest iPhone. If you sell all of those and leverage your money, you will be able to make more money. It's simple as.